Hi everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel Upcoming Cyclone Updates. In this video we're gonna discuss the latest updates on the tropical likely to affect Florida during the next 2 days. First off, if you're watching this channel for first time and still haven't subscribed, so subscribe now so you don't miss any important weather information. Thanks a lot. Heavy rainfall may result in locally considerable flash and urban flooding across portions of Florida and the coastal areas of the southeast U.S. this weekend through Wednesday. This could lead to dangerous situations for both residents and travelers in these areas, as flash floods can occur with little warning and urban flooding can quickly become severe, especially in low-lying regions. Emergency services and local authorities are likely to be on high alert to respond to such situations, and residents are advised to have an emergency plan in place and stay informed through reliable weather updates. Isolated river flooding will also be possible, particularly in areas with already high water levels from previous rainfall. Rivers may overflow their banks, leading to hazardous conditions in surrounding areas, including possible road closures and evacuations. The National Weather Service and other agencies will likely issue warnings and advisories as needed, and it's crucial for people in affected areas to heed these warnings and take appropriate actions. A hurricane watch has been issued for portions of west central Florida and the Big Bend region, where hurricane conditions are possible late Sunday. This means that hurricane-force winds, 74 miles per hour or greater, are possible in the watch area within the next 48 hours. Residents should prepare for potential impacts by securing outdoor objects, ensuring that their property is as storm-ready as possible, and stocking up on essential supplies such as water, non-perishable food, and medications. Tropical storm conditions are expected farther south along Florida's west coast, including the Tampa Bay area, and across the Dry Tortugas where tropical storm warnings are in effect. These conditions include winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour, heavy rainfall, and the possibility of localized flooding. Power outages and minor property damage are also potential risks. It's important for residents in these areas to stay informed about the storm's progress and to follow any evacuation orders or other instructions from local authorities. There is a possibility of life-threatening inundation from storm surge along portions of the west coast of Florida from Bonita Beach to Osceola River, including Tampa Bay and Charlotte Harbor, where a storm surge watch is in effect. Storm surge is one of the most dangerous aspects of tropical cyclones, capable of causing extensive damage to coastal areas and posing a serious threat to life. Residents in the watch area should be prepared to evacuate if ordered to do so and take all necessary precautions to protect themselves and their property. Even if the surge does not reach the highest predicted levels, it can still result in significant coastal flooding, especially when combined with high tide. The impacts of storm surge can extend far inland, flooding areas that do not normally experience such conditions. Impacts from storm surge, strong winds, and heavy rains are possible elsewhere in Florida and along the southeast coast of the United States from Georgia to North Carolina through the middle of next week. Interests in those areas should continue to monitor the progress of this system closely. It is essential to stay informed through reliable sources such as the National Hurricane Center, local weather stations, and emergency management agencies. Preparing for potential impacts includes securing property, gathering emergency supplies, and having an evacuation plan ready if needed. Additional watches and warnings will likely be required later today, the 3rd of August, as the system continues to evolve and move closer to the U.S. mainland. Small bursts of deep convection have continued near the estimated center of the depression, with some skeletal convective bands over the outer portions of the circulation. These bursts of convection indicate that the system is maintaining its strength and has the potential to intensify. Earlier scatterometer data revealed the strongest winds were occurring to the south and east of the center, offshore of the southern coast of Cuba. The overall organization of the tropical cyclone has changed little overnight, and the initial intensity is held at 30 miles per hour, 25 knots, based on the earlier scatterometer winds and recent Dvorak estimates from TAFB and SAB. The scatterometer is a satellite-based instrument that measures surface winds over the ocean, providing valuable data for understanding the strength and structure of tropical systems. The estimated motion of the depression is still west-northwestward at about 15 miles per hour, 14 knots. This motion is consistent with the influence of the subtropical ridge to the north of the system. The influence of an upper-level trough over the eastern United States should cause the cyclone to turn northwestward and then northward this weekend as it moves toward a break in the subtropical ridge. This change in direction is crucial for forecasting the storm's eventual landfall and impacts. This motion will bring the system across western Cuba this morning, the 3rd of August, into the eastern Gulf of Mexico later today, and toward the Florida Big Bend region on Sunday and Sunday night. There is reasonably good confidence in this portion of the track forecast, and only slight westward adjustments were made to the NHC prediction based on the latest track consensus aids. After landfall, weakening steering currents should cause the cyclone to slow down while it moves northeastward over parts of northern Florida and Georgia. This slowing could lead to prolonged periods of heavy rainfall and an increased risk of flooding in these areas. Thereafter, the track forecast becomes highly uncertain as it is unclear whether the system will accelerate northeastward ahead of an upper trough, GFS, or get left behind and meander over the southeastern U.S. or near the coast, ECMWF. This uncertainty makes it challenging to predict the exact impacts and timeline for the southeastern U.S., and residents should be prepared for various scenarios, including extended periods of rain and potential flooding. After the system crosses Cuba and emerges over the eastern Gulf of Mexico, the environmental and oceanic conditions appear favorable for intensification. The latest NHC forecast shows the cyclone becoming a tropical storm by tonight, with additional strengthening expected while it moves across deep warm waters in a weak shear environment. Warm ocean waters provide the energy needed for tropical systems to strengthen, and low wind shear allows the storm to maintain its structure and grow. The regional hurricane models and statistical guidance continue to indicate some potential for the system to reach hurricane strength before it makes landfall in the Florida Big Bend region. Although the latest NHC forecast does not explicitly show the cyclone becoming a hurricane, note that additional strengthening could occur between 48 to 60 hours. This means that residents in the forecast path should be prepared for the possibility of hurricane conditions even if the official forecast does not currently predict it. Weakening is forecast after landfall while the system moves over the southeastern United States. Beyond day 3, the intensity forecast remains quite uncertain and highly dependent on whether the center stays inland or emerges off the Atlantic coast. The hurricane season has already been quite active, and this potential storm adds to the list of systems that have threatened or impacted land areas this year. The importance of preparedness and staying informed cannot be overstated. Hurricanes and tropical storms can bring a range of hazards, including strong winds, heavy rain, storm surge, and tornadoes, all of which pose significant risks to life and property. Emergency management agencies, local governments, and the public must work together to ensure that the necessary preparations are made and that timely and accurate information is disseminated to those in harm's way. Residents in the potential impact areas are advised to review their hurricane preparedness plans, make necessary preparations for their homes and businesses, and stay tuned to official weather updates and instructions from local authorities. The situation is dynamic, and changes in the forecast are likely as new data becomes available. By staying vigilant and prepared, communities can better weather the impacts of this and other storms during the hurricane season. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your time and support watching this channel. Take care of yourself and goodbye for now.